I love food. I love food. Gonna get fat for the people. Gonna get fat for the people. Cause I am adipose blessed. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you guys could make it for this story time and mukbang. What you guys had asked for on Instagram was a 50-50 vote. Half of you told me that I needed to get fat, and then the other half of you wanted to know why I decided to start nursing. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Without further ado, I have me some chipotle. We're gonna get fat with chipotle and tea as well. So we'll call this Tea Time with Roy. We're all over the place, aren't we? We got a tea time, a mukbang, and a story time. Let's just continue straight on to the topic at hand. So, oh my gosh, the guac. We all love guac. What this reminds me of, right? That one meme. Oh my god, Chipotle is my life.
Oh my god, I love Chipotle. Chipotle is my life.
So let me set the stage. Back in high school, people are thinking about what they're gonna do, what they're gonna be, what they're gonna major in. Personally, I knew that I wanted to be in the medical field since I was 9 years old. You know, I was gonna be the next Meredith Grey. Ever since 9 years old, I wanted to do something in the medical field. Specifically, I wanted to be a doctor. By senior year, we all had applied to various colleges. I had applied to the UCs, but I didn't do any privates or anything like that. And I got into UCR for biology as well as UCI for biology. Deciding on colleges is like a huge step, especially in high school. So for me, this was pretty big, but I remember a couple years before senior year, my dad brought up being a nurse. And during senior year, you know, I decided to stick with UCR for their bio program for a couple different reasons. One, it was going to be a pre-med major. And two, they had a program going on where students who were undergraduates at UCR got half of the medical seats at their med school. So there's that program going on. And I had gotten far. I mean, I submitted the application, got accepted, did a bunch of stuff, went to orientation, you know, got my schedule, got all this stuff, which is tea. Talk about my schedule in a bit. Yeah, so I went through the whole thing, and eventually, somewhere along the way, you know, something didn't click. And here's where it didn't click for me. A lot of different things started happening. I was at orientation, and that's where you schedule your classes and they give you a whole thing. First of all, I was there with everyone, did everything. I took that placement exam for math, got into calculus. My scores on the AP calculus exam that I got in high school and that I didn't have to take math at UCR starting off. I can't remember if I didn't have to take math at all or if I just didn't have to take, I think it was just a semester of math towards the end of my thing. Two, with my English scores, I didn't need to take an English class until my senior year at UCR. Those are because of AP scores I got in high school. But it turns out they didn't receive my info, they didn't put it in. So they put me in all these rudimentary classes, all these different things. And I was like, whoa, like, no. I put in a year's worth of work to get out of all of this. So, you know, it was a whole process. And by the time I got done with that process, everybody had already been applying for classes while I had to, you know, get my situation figured out. And so all these classes were being registered. And finally, when I got through, a couple different things happened. So one, turns out my freshman year at UCR, I would have had to take nothing but chemistry. It was chemistry through fall, no other classes. So I needed to sign up for something. And then I found anthropology, which I guess was like, you know, a major people were trying to get into, but their schedules didn't work for it. I ended up getting anthropology, and then I wanted to take a history to get, you know, the general requirements out of the way. And then I think I got some world whatever, and it was a whole mess for me. Other people, it was super easy, and it's a great school, it's a great institution, you know. There's still things that would have been good if I had gone there, but it wasn't for me at that time, if that makes sense. I feel like we're all on a journey, you know, and we're all kind of directed one way, and no matter how hard you try to fight it, you're meant to go one way. And this was just my path. I wasn't meant to start off at UCR for bio, and I felt that too a little bit later, but I kind of just, shoved that feeling deep down, like I'm gonna be a pre-med major, I'm gonna get all this stuff done, I'm gonna do all this. I was signing up for clubs, and you can ask people who were with me at orientation. I was talking to every single club that I felt would have mattered to further my career. I kind of just told myself, you know what, it's okay, you'll get through the fall term, and then once winter or spring starts, you can kind of switch it up, you can do what you need to do, move on through. I ended up realizing that there was so much stuff that, you had to think about that you don't realize as a student. So for example, one thing was parking. So I was actually a commuter. I wasn't a dorm student like most of my friends are. I was going to commute from home every single day. And that has its own challenges, There are challenges with commuting, like get to school by a certain time, traffic, parking, all that stuff that you think you're going to be able to handle. And then once it actually comes down to it, like the day of orientation, there's so much traffic. I mean, from near our house all the way down over there was so much traffic. And we left early too. So it was like, whoa, like if this is going to be on a daily basis, me just going to school, I started thinking I should have dormed. And I remember my dad thinking that if I had dormed, he would have felt a little bit better about it. But then my dad just felt like there's a different path for me out there, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I'm so grateful he did, because I am honestly in love with the path that I'm on. I'm in love with the career that I'm heading towards. We end up coming back from orientation, and my dad was like, I want you to take a look at something, and I want you to understand something from my perspective. So for those of you who don't know, we are an immigrant family, so it's literally just my mom, my dad, my brother, and me. That's it. We don't have any backup, we don't have any relatives. None of that. We're like the first ones of our family here. So that is really courageous and brave, but it's also really scary at times, because if anything were to happen, there's nothing we can do, and we're not exactly citizens here either. So, we're permanent residents. You can never tell like what's gonna happen. So my dad felt that the quicker I could get something solid, the better. And there are plenty of undergraduate options that you can do, but for us, he felt that nursing would be great. And now that I'm in it, I realize how great of a choice that was, because one, it's a stable job. Two, it's something I love to do, because my passion is all about helping other people. I'm always helping other people. Every chance I get, whether I'm the one offering help or the one that's being asked for help, I love doing it. And to make that a career, it's amazing. So he tells me, take a look at something. There was an accelerated nursing program at West Coast University. And so we went there and we took a tour and we learned, and it's not like a huge university, but it is a pretty great institution. Their level of academic rigor is pretty high. They don't play around. Like, we sign a contract before tests. It's true. It might seem crazy, but it's true, and I understand why, because of strict no cheating policy, but it makes sense. If you're going to go into the healthcare professions or the medical professions, that you'd want the person who's treating you knowing what they're doing. You don't want someone who's kind of, just, oh yeah, I copied from my friend, or I just memorized the answers to a test or something. You don't want that. So I found that I enjoyed what they were offering, and I'm really happy with the school I chose, because, for example, take this situation, the whole COVID-19. All of these schools have had to figure out a way to integrate their classes online. My school already had an online integration for every single class, including labs and lectures. Another aspect I'm grateful is that it's pretty straightforward. It cuts directly to the point that, you're gonna get in at this time, and should you pass all your classes, do everything you need to do, you're out by this date. So I was really grateful for that, because one big uncertainty with institutions and colleges is, will I graduate on time? In fact, the bigger question is, can I get out of this earlier, because we're all, knee deep in debt already. A drawback to the school is it might seem costly, and it might be much more expensive than an institution you're going to, but at the end of the day, if you look at the numbers, if you look at the timeline, you can very well pay off that debt just like you could at any other undergraduate university. Becoming a nurse was kind of a push from my parents. Like, they said, like, Roy, we know you love this path, we know that you want to do this thing, we know that you want to go all the way and become an MD, but the journey there can be different. Can you check this out? It might take a little bit longer, it might take a couple of years more than it would have, but ultimately it is the most secure decision. And healthcare professions, nurses and doctors, are essential workers. Nurses, you want doctors, you want firefighters, you want policemen, you want those essential workers, because should anything go wrong, they're trained to help society out. And that doesn't take away from any other professions. All professions, I think, are equally important. But in terms of job safety, I know that I'm entering a profession that has a pretty significant level of job safety. That's something I'm grateful for with this profession, and it happens to be in 2.5 years for me. So I'll be out in 2022. I started in October of 2019 actually, so I started late, to be honest. I graduate in 2022. It's 2 years. I mean, literally 2 years on the day, October. Quite literally 2 to 2.5 years later, I'm out and I have a BSN. That's a bachelor's degree, something I can work towards a medical profession with. It's a bachelor's degree in nursing, so I have, job options. I can go work in a hospital. I can get some experience under my belt. I can work alongside doctors, realize what I need to do in order to be successful. And there's a whole host of other benefits that come with it. And more importantly, here in America, it's hard. I mean, people need to work 2 jobs, like 2 parents need to work 2 jobs just to make ends meet. So it's really hard. So just to be able to contribute and give back to them and help them out with whatever they need. I mean, my plan is not to move out and get my own apartment or anything. No, I mean, there's no reason for me to. I'll be at home, but at least they have another source of income to help them out. These are all reasons why I started nursing. I'm gonna talk about my path as a nurse, what I think about it, and man, you guys, I love it. We're dissecting holograms. I mean, like Han Solo hologram. It'll be a skeleton in front of us, and we can add muscles, we can take away things, we can do all sorts of stuff, and I think it's really great that my school jumps on it. Our tuition is hard at work. I mean, if we weren't getting these kinds of things, what the heck are we paying so much for? That's a joke my friends always make, so I'm really glad. And we get free parking, so I live for that. I also enjoy the instructors. My anatomy instructor, for example, used to teach at USC. So I'm sure that goes to show that it doesn't take away from, the credibility of the education, or I guess the prestige, because at the end of the day, I'm getting the same degree as someone who went to UCLA and got a bachelor's in nursing. Ultimately, we're going to the same profession, and it's, as an individual, what can you, offer to wherever you're heading? And I think that's what's most important, not where you get your degree, but how you get it, what you choose to do with it, and how willing you are to succeed in not only getting your degree, but succeeding in the career that you are pursuing. Oh, look, you want some? You want a bite? Go ahead, take some. You want some tea too? Go ahead, have some tea. So there's that, and I love my school, I love my friends, I love the people there. I'm with people who are older than me, at my same age, people who are, could be moms, some could be grandmas if they wanted to, or grandpas. And it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I see them as courageous people for deciding to come back to school so late in their lives. And a lot of people can get a lot of poo for going to school, later in their life, but I think they're great. Having realized it from personal experience with my own family, I think anyone who decides to pursue something, no matter how old they are, no matter where they are in life, you go and you get your coins, because no one should stop you from getting your Chipotle. Being in school now, I find that what is expected of me is expected of me. I have assignments due every single week. I have tests every single week. I have things I have to get done, and I get them done, just like any other student would. Volunteer services, I am working on that too, unfortunately, because of the current situation. There's no volunteering going on, but I'm working on that. I'm doing everything I would have if I was a student anywhere else. And I wanted to just say that even though this path is unconventional, even though my school is unconventional, it doesn't take away from what I am pursuing, where I am headed, how I'm getting there. It doesn't take away from any of that, because I'm still me. I'm still going to reach point B. It's just I might take a different path than everyone else. I might take a little longer than anyone else. I might be a little faster than other people. Who knows? But the journey is always different. But the destination will forever remain the same. And that is because when I'm doing this, I'm not doing it because of the income. I'm not doing it because of what's expected of me. I'm not doing this because of any other factor except it's my passion. I've always loved helping people. And to realize that I can make a career out of literally helping dying people. I mean, what's better than that? It's absolutely phenomenal to me. And so that's why I enjoy this. I've already learned so much from new friends I've met at school, from old friends who are pursuing the path that I would have been pursuing. It's amazing having had both feet in two different worlds and realizing things from a whole new lens, a whole new perspective, the similarities, the differences. It's just awesome. And you know, the reasons why I chose to be a nurse are really specific to me and my situation, so they may not apply to you as a viewer. But yeah, that's why I chose to be a nurse first. Nursing is not going to be the end for me. I don't know what career lies in the future, but I know that I'm not going to stop getting better and working on myself, because that's what life is, right? Getting better with every second, being the best person you can be every passing moment, trying your hardest. So yeah, that's why I decided to be a nurse. That's why I decided to eat Chipotle. I hope you like that ASMR. If you enjoyed this content, if you enjoyed hearing about my life story, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, do all that good stuff for me. Follow my socials if you want to watch my progress as I continue, being a nurse and whatever lies beyond. Instagram at Royston_Kennedy, Twitter at Royston Kennedy. Share this video with people who you think it might help, who need to hear this, or just if you liked it in general. It really helps me a lot, and it really contributes to my overall desire to continue doing this. For the people who keep coming back and watching, thank you so much. I love you all. You guys are real ones. I couldn't do this without your support. Your support means everything to me, so thank you so much. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace, peace, peace.